combos, and it's no surprise that leading the group was Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. But reigning Super Bowl champs Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill came in fifth, right behind Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. So, Shannon, do you have a problem with Dak and Amari actually above Tyreek
sure
and Mahomes?
Sure do. Jenny, you got to finish. Yep, got a big problem with it. Got a big problem. Got a problem with it. Problems. First, Skip, really? First of all, they're not even top five because Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams needs to be higher. They need to be in the top five. You know that. I know that. I'm taking Adam Thielen and first cousins over Dak and Amari because, as Skip Bayless has told me, Amari doesn't show up on the road. And last I checked, they do play games on the road. So that's going to factor in. I got a problem with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. When do they play together? Because, Skip, we've seen two great-looking couples. One over there, ooh, one look good, ooh, and the other one look good. Man, if they get together, they're going to be a great couple. And it doesn't work out. So until they get together, until they play, they shouldn't be on the list. They shouldn't. Kyler and D-Hop, I know what D-Hop did at Houston, but he can't be on the list with this list because he hadn't taken one snap with Kyler Murray. Now, I got no problem with 1 and 2, Skip. I don't think anybody should have a problem with 1 and 2. The connection between Drew Brees and Mike Thomas is legendary. I don't know, Skip, how much longer Drew Brees is going to play, but when you go for basically $150 in catches, had 100 plus the year before, probably 100 plus the year before, they got to be number one. Julio and Matt Ryan, no problem whatsoever. But my number 3 would be Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. My number 4 would be Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. And number 5 would be Cousins and Adam Thielen. That's all I need to know. First of all, that is not even the top 5. There ain't no way they should be in the top 5. You know that. I know that.
Once again, I have yet to speak on this topic, and you're putting words in my mouth that are not about to come out of my mouth because I don't know that. All I know is that in the biggest picture, I'll take Amari and his connection with Dak over Tyreek and his quasi-connection with Mahomes. Because if I look at what's happened over the last 2 years, I'm the first to jump out there and tell you, no, Amari is not a road warrior, he's a road weenie. And he has disappeared at Jets, at Patriots, at Eagles, as we saw last year. And it still didn't matter. His numbers were still way beyond Tyreek's numbers. And if I look at just the season as a whole, it was still a really good season. That's why Jerry just gave him $100 million. That if he could ever get motivated, get a fire lit, which maybe CeeDee Lamb will help relight on the road, you're going to have you might have Michael Thomas is what you might have. But he has a very special wavelength with Amari Cooper and with Dak Prescott. And here's the point. Look at the last 2 years. Tyreek's biggest game over the last 2 years is 10 catches for 215 yards. Well, wait a second. Amari has 10 for 217, and he's also got an 11 for 226 yards. So he's had 2 games bigger than Tyreek's best game over these last 2 years that Amari has been a Dallas Cowboy. And wait a second, Tyreek isn't the best receiver on his own team. Travis Kelce is. I mean, obviously, Mahomes' security blanket.
We're not using tight ends.
No, we are. They're receivers. They catch just like the wide receivers catch. You should know that. That's how you got in the Hall of Fame.
If you're going to use that one, within high as Dak and Amari, better than walking to him Wentz and Zach Ertz. Since you went there, yes.
Well,
since you took it there, I'm going to take it right back to you.
We're talking about these connections.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well,
but you just
I think I'm going to finish on what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Okay, Travis Kelce caught almost 100 balls last year from Mahomes. Tyreek caught 58. Yes. It was 97 to 58. He almost doubled him. Really? And you're making a case that they have special connection?
Skip, wasn't he hurt?
A couple of games.
Wasn't Tyreek hurt?
Okay, timeout.
No, he missed 4 games.
I think I'm speaking. I think I'm speaking, and I'm getting interrupted once again. Travis Kelce had 136 balls thrown to him last year to Tyreek's only 89 in targets. Sammy Watkins had one more target than Tyreek did, and they both missed games. So to me, I don't know. He's almost like a luxury. He's almost like icing on the cake. He's certainly not the go-to receiver that Amari is because, yeah, I got it. It was 56 catches at home and only 27 catches on the road. But wait a second. Amari had 79 total catches to Tyreek's 58. And that's with basically missing those games on the road when he didn't do anything. 79 to 58. He had 119 targets to only 89 for Tyreek. Wow. Guess what? Yards per catch. 15.1 for Amari last year, which I thought was a bad year, to 14.8 for Tyreek. So even in yards per catch, he was a little better than Tyreek. 8 touchdowns to 7. Okay, I'll take that. I think 1,200 yards to 860 yards, yeah, I'll really take that because the stats tell you bang, 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 bang. Amari just had a better year last year than Tyreek. So because they have such a special rapport, mostly at home, I give you at home, but it is so lethal at home that, yeah, I'll put them above Mahomes and Tyreek. They're just better. They're more productive in the bigger picture than Mahomes to Tyreek is. So, yeah, you went on and on about that. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you. And I just ended this debate that Amari had better, he just had better numbers across the board last year than Tyreek did.
And you know good and well, Tyreek was hurt last year. He missed 4 games. Amari Cooper not showing up on the road is not the equivalent because he was in uniform.
Amari missed 8 games. He missed 8.
When?
On the road.
Skip, you don't get to count.
He did nothing on the road.
Skip, was the man in uniform? Was he in uniform? A simple no or a simple yes? Okay, the season
there's no
in
simple
2018.
to it. No.
Yes. Skip. First of all, this is how it works, Skip. You can't say, because if you show up on the job and don't do any work, it's not the same as you not showing up at all. He did show up. He might have not put no work in while he was at work, but he did show up. Tyreek missed games. Tyreek did not come to work. Skip, it's not the same, and you know it.
It's the same when you add up the numbers because he got no numbers out of 3 road games in particular. At the Jets, he caught 1 ball for 3 yards and took himself out of the game for reasons never explained. At Patriots, he couldn't catch the ball. Wait a second. He had no catches against the Patriots, against Stephon Gilmore, took himself out of the game and pouted on the sideline. Against the Eagles, he had next to nothing in production, and it got so bad he was running half-hearted routes, and Jason Garrett yanked him. So I'm just saying, okay, you got me. This is out. Missed 4 games. He missed the equivalent of 4 games on the road in production. But, man, you add up the rest of it, it ain't even close. It's not close, Shannon. The connection of Dak to Amari is much more explosive than the connection of Mahomes to Tyreek. It just is. Period. End of story. Shannon, who was the #1 receiver for the Cowboys? It was Amari Cooper. The #1 receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs was Travis Kelce.
Think about what you just said. You just said Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott is more explosive than Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Think about what you just said. Now, I'm going to give you an opportunity to retract that statement. Because you know, Skip, first of all, Amari Cooper not showing up because he can't get open, because he's not getting balls thrown his way over 8 games on the road is not the same as Tyreek Hill not being in uniform at all. Tyreek Hill in 2018, when he was totally healthy, he caught 87 passes, 1479, and 12 touchdowns. Amari Cooper never had a season like that. Never. Ever.
Well,
So Skip, stop this.
Wait. if Amari Cooper had come to Dallas for game 1 of 2018 instead of game 8, he would have had beyond those numbers. If you project his numbers